Glowing Up Latina, Season 1, Episode 2. Hey guys, welcome back.
Hi.
We are going to be talking about our proficiency levels with Spanish, our relationship to Spanish, kind of what it means to us and for us to live in our culture, because as you know, Amanda and I are Mexican, Liana's Dominican, kind of how all those things come together. I'm Christina, in case you forgot.
I'm Amanda.
And
I'm Liana.
Hi. But before we dive into this fun topic, we obviously want to do a temperature check. What do you guys got going on? How's it going?
Oh, it's going really well. I'm really tired.
Yeah. It's a Sunday morning, or afternoon, sorry.
Yeah, now it's Sunday afternoon,
yes.
Yeah. But feeling tired. Tomorrow's work. Tomorrow's Monday. Gotta get ready for a whole new week. Starting to pack today. Officially. Yeah. So my new building is really annoying now because I scheduled our move-in date for March 18th, and they were like, you can't do that. You can only schedule your moving date for the day that your lease starts. And I was like, ma'am, the welcome package did not specify.
How many days away is it from March 18th? It's that weekend, isn't
it? It's the 21st.
Okay.
Yeah. So literally after the Bad Bunny concert.
Ma'am.
It's gonna be fun.
Are you off? You're off that week?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I took off, so it won't be that bad.
Okay.
All right.
You'll just be tired again.
I'll just be tired. Constantly tired.
My week was, it was kind of okay. It was all right. Kind of slow. Nothing exciting. I finally finished. Okay, we redid the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
That's done. We put down the floors. We put down the backsplash. That's all good to go. My kitchen looks so much better compared to what it looked like before.
Oh my God.
Not that it looked like a mess, Mommy. I'm just saying. I know she's listening. She approves. And this week I actually worked out. The week that we were painting, I didn't work out. So I went back to working out this week. Feel a little bit better. So yeah, I feel slightly healthier.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually hit my workout goal for this week, so that was great. Had a fun time with that. I'm working on trying to get up earlier because, as we know, I did not go back into the office, and thankfully my office is keeping us remote. So I usually will probably only have to go in on Wednesdays as of now, but I was getting up at 6:30, getting my day started. Somewhere along the way, I don't know, this week, there was one day this week where I got up 10 minutes before work, and I was like, oh no. But I told y'all that day, work went by so fast. I had so much energy, and I was like, yes, I'm ready for this. But I miss getting up early. I prefer to work out early in the morning to just get it out of the way. I feel like it gives me energy and stuff to be ready for my day. But I'm pretty excited about today's episode, I'm not gonna lie. I just watched Selena on in a theater yesterday.
Yeah.
They did a brunch at the Nighthawk. So I was like, I feel it. I feel this. I'm so ready for tomorrow's episode. It'll be great. Yeah, because as we know, our queen did not know Spanish great. No. Well, I don't know English well either, apparently. But yeah, so that was a mild week, I'd say.
Yeah, it was an okay week.
Yeah, it was an okay week, yeah.
This week went by real slow. But I think it's because the week before we had Monday off, and this was our full week back.
Yeah. You're right.
As if we're always having a Monday off.
It's hard to go back.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's life. It's not always going to be hot or great. We haven't got there yet. I don't think we've determined, is hot good or is it bad? I guess. And,
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm going to say yes. We prefer summer, so yes.
Yes.
I love the summer.
Yeah, I love summer, too.
I'm the only one at my job that does, apparently.
Really?
What?
Yeah. They're always just I love the winter, the fall. I'm just bring me to the beach.
Yeah.
So I can live there.
No, thank you.
I mean, I like seeing the seasons change, but
no.
No. I like seeing them change, but I prefer summer also.
like all warm temperatures I prefer
Okay.
from the cold. I don't like the snow. I honestly like, I think Thomas and I were talking about this the other day. I did not take into consideration before moving here that it snows so often.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, I didn't even think about it. I don't know why. Like, I feel like that, I think 18-year-old me was just like, New York, yes, I'll go. It's fine. But, you know, I'm very excited for the summer. I'm very excited for us to go to the beach again. We didn't get to go last summer.
I know.
Oh,
It's fine. It's been
great.
Great time.
And then we get to go in July to DR
Hey.
for a special someone's bachelorette party. So yes.
Yes. Oh, and then I got tickets to the Weekend concert. Like, yes, a little bit after that with Doja Cat. I'm so excited.
Oh my God.
Really good concert.
Yes, I'm very excited. It's at MetLife. I cannot wait.
How close are you sitting to the stage?
We're like,
I saw One Direction there.
did you?
I did.
Okay, so sorry. I know we're getting sidetracked, but right before they like disbanded or took a hiatus, whatever.
Yeah.
They had one concert that I think was at, Jones Beach. That's the outdoor theater, right? Yeah. And I wanted to go see them, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna be able to make it out this time. I'll catch them next time. And then they announced they were going on hiatus, and I was like, and it's been like 10 years now. So.
I don't think that'll happen.
They're not coming back. It's fine. It's okay. I've seen Harry Styles. I was supposed to see Niall in concert, and that's like he was gonna tour with Louis Capaldi, who I did see at Brooklyn Steel, and fantastic. He's a great vocalist. They were gonna tour together, and then pandemic hit. So yeah.
Is Niall your favorite?
Yes, I do love the Irish lad. He's Irish.
Liam is my favorite.
Liam, really? I feel like that's a hot take. I'm not gonna lie.
What do you mean?
Because everybody's like Niall or Zayn or
Harry.
Harry. I feel like people forget about Louis and Niall. Louis and Liam. See, I just did it just now.
You mean Liam?
Liam, yeah. He does have one song. He did a song with J Balvin that I really like. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mandy, you have to become a One Directioner.
Yes. Hello.
Okay.
I still fangirl over NSYNC, so I mean
that's fair. That is fair. 98 Degrees.
Oh
All
my-
that. Love them. Okay.
Anyways.
It's probably time to get into the episode. We can do another episode on boy bands one day. We love a good boy band.
Love a good boy band.
Okay, yeah. So enough of that. Onward. Onward we go. Okay, so I think first off, we wanted to do this episode because obviously the name of the episode is Glowing Up Latina. We wanted to be very like vulnerable and authentic about where we come from in our Latinx like upbringing and how we I guess engage with Latinx culture.
Yes.
Yeah, would be the way to say that. So I'll kick us off by saying that I actually do not speak Spanish. Something I've always felt very insecure about. I definitely grew up around it. My mom speaks it. All of my grandparents speak it. My great-grandparents speak it. Somehow, like, my, like, generation or, like, that, like, part of the family tree, like, kind of fell through the cracks. I can understand it, for sure. I will not answer back. I feel very insecure about my accent. And I can read it, but I think that has more to do with context clues. And my mom one time, because I have been trying to learn Spanish for a while, she told me that it's all very like phonetic. Like you can sound it out and you can say the word, where like English, there are long and short vowels. I think being able to read it has more to do with like getting the context clues than me actually like knowing the words. But what about y'all? Where do y'all stand?
I would say that it wasn't my first language. I actually talked to my mom about this like the other day. I was like, Mom, we're doing this episode on Spanglish. Do you think that Spanish was like my first language? Because I had a nanny when I was like baby who only spoke to me in Spanish. My parents only spoke Spanish too. So I thought that it was my first, but my mom was like, no, it was a little bit of both really, because you started going to school and then you come home and all that stuff. So it was a mixture of both. But I definitely grew up around it. I used to watch telenovelas with my parents too. And that's a lot of where I learned it from, and also from, like, you know, my parents as well. And I can read it, I can write it to an extent. The apellidos, though, they always confuse me, so I get kind of like confused sometimes. And if I'm spoken to in Spanish, but I know they speak English, I will reply in English.
Of course.
But if I know they only speak Spanish, I'll try to talk to them in Spanish. But it's also something I'm really insecure about, because, like, I know I'm not saying it the right way, and I don't want them being like, oh, you heard this girl? She can't even say anything. I want to learn. I even downloaded Duolingo for a little bit to, like, learn it, and then I was like, I should not be using Duolingo to learn the language that I grew up with. It makes no sense.
I also have my reservations on whether Duolingo works. Because, like, I feel like, how much can you learn from, like, I feel like you can't become proficient. I mean, obviously, I think you probably have to do other things, but
right, yeah.
I feel like I need to get back on that little owl, though, harasses you.
Yes. It's like, hey, you didn't do your lesson today. Just like, oh, I didn't know I was going to school.
And it's not one notification. Really? It's like several notifications throughout the day. Like, are you going to check into the app?
Stop
are you going to do it?
Me about my Spanish. I mean, I think I fall in the same category as you guys, where, like, I understand Spanish, I can read it, I can speak it. My accent has gotten a little better throughout the years, and yeah, like, if somebody talks to me in Spanish, but right, if I know you, like, you know English, you understand it, I'll answer you, I'll reply to you in English. But, like, if you don't, like, I get very nervous, and that's where, like, I'll butcher the language, and it's like, and I hate doing that, because I'm like, oh my god, yeah, I'm sure they're like, this girl doesn't know what she's saying, and do we even, like, why do we even engage with her in Spanish? Like, it's I don't want to feel like sometimes I feel like I offend people if, like, when I talk in Spanish and, like, I'm not saying it correctly, or, like, with my accent alone, they're just like, oh, okay.
Yes.
Here goes another gringa, or, like, you know, she's, like, really Americanized.
Yeah.
Does she even, like, follow her, like, does she follow her culture? Does she, like, is she even, like, proud of her roots? Like, oh my god, like, I'm completely proud of my roots, but, yeah, I just feel, like, very awkward sometimes.
No, I definitely understand that, because I feel like sometimes, I feel like you can tell when I am speaking Spanish, I am a Mexican who doesn't know Spanish. You don't think that, like, I'm Caucasian or I'm white or whatever. Like, you know very well this is, because, like, my accent doesn't sound so funny to the extent where it's like this is my first time using it. It just sounds like I can roll my R's, I can do, like, some of the things that I need to do to, like, be clear. But it's like, this girl did not grow up speaking Spanish, or, like, and then I don't want to say, like, wasn't immersed in it, because I was, like, it was everywhere around me. And I remember, like, when I was little, like, we very much, like, used Spanish in our house. Like, I used the Spanish names for, like, so many things growing up. And I want to say, like, in the very beginning, when me and my brothers were little, we were definitely being spoken to in Spanish, because my grandma Sylvia, she spoke to us in Spanish. She still does. She speaks to us in Spanish. She uses mostly English, but sometimes, I don't know, I used it a lot when I was little, and then I don't know, I think probably you're going to school. You're going to school, and I live in a small Texas town. Like, it's just, I don't know, I guess this leads to, like, maybe my next question is whether, like, you've ever felt judged by other like Latinx people.
Completely.
Yeah. It's hard.
Completely.
It's all the time. There's a cousin I have, and they know Spanish very well. They're very immersed in, like, the culture, very immersed in, like, the language, and they speak it all the time. Their accent is really good, because so Dominicans have, like, a certain, I don't want to say, I guess, dialect, right? So they, like, every Spanish is different. Like, the way I talk Spanish is not the same way that Amanda would talk Spanish, or Christina would talk Spanish. So, like, when I talk Spanish, a lot of people think I'm Puerto Rican because of the way I say my words. And they know Spanish very well. Like, they're always talking to their parents like that and all that stuff. And it sounds sounds so natural to them to speak it. And there was one time that they had told me, like, you should really, like, get into it. Like, that's how you're going to learn and all that stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, I know. You
Like,
don't have to tell
like,
me.
thank you for reminding me, but I already know that piece of information. It's funny that I had a similar experience too with also a relative. They asked me, oh, Amanda, do you still not know Spanish? And I'm like, I had to cock my head at them and be like, are we really having this conversation right now? I think it was all in my face. Like, you can see that I was pissed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I went off.
It's Spanish?
No. Right? It would have, damn. That moment would have been great. But I was a little PO'd, but I forgive that person for that moment. Anyways, so I was like, I can read it. I can write it. I understand it. And I use it when I need to. I guess if you wanted to ask me in Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
then you would have seen right there, like, that would have been the opportunity that you see that I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the way I came off, I'm sure I came off really like an asshole. But I got up and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get a cup of water. And came back, but like, yeah, it was just weird because it's just like, damn, like, you don't expect family to like do that to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like harder when family is like very judgmental of like your Spanish speaking skills, because instead of like like instead of teasing the person, like, encourage them.
Yeah.
And be like, or like correct them in a nicer way, like,
yeah,
in a gentle way, like, okay, I see what you were trying to say, but next time you say this, like, say it this way. You're not like, you have to be. I don't know why we're so harsh, like, as family members. I don't know about you guys, but like, sometimes I can be harsh too.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I wish, like, if they had taken that approach, I think my Spanish would have been completely different. Like, I think it would have been way better than what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I have an aunt like that she loves the way that I speak Spanish,
yeah.
even though I know it's very broken.
Mm-hmm.
And I love her so much for that, because she's always encouraging me to speak Spanish. She wants me to learn how to talk it and all that stuff. And she's so gentle when she corrects me and stuff. So I definitely like that approach, rather than like, haha, you said that wrong. She's like, well, maybe you can tell me how to say it right then.
Right. Like,
I think it depends on like who it's, because my mom has also been like, the only way to learn it is if you immerse yourself in it. Right. And I think it depends on who it comes from, because like, I know, like, my family, they don't, all the judgment I felt for not being able to speak Spanish has come from outside of my family. My family has never like made me feel bad for not knowing it, because I also think that it's important to understand like the history of being, I mean, I can't obviously speak for Dominican history, but like the history of being like a Mexican in a Texas town. Mm-hmm. Like when my family was growing up, it was like the 60s. It was still like, I've seen news articles of like whites only stores, like stuff like that. Like people felt they had to assimilate, and then those like traumas were passed on throughout generations. And I don't know for sure. I can never say 100% that that's why I don't speak Spanish today. Mm-hmm. But I would say it's definitely a reason that people felt judged or othered or what have you, and they felt, well, I don't want my children to go through that, so my children will speak English, they'll learn to write in English, and all of that. But my mom is always like very gentle with me when it comes, because she knows that I'm insecure about it. Like so like when I was like, I think in middle school, middle school kids are the worst, just to begin with. Like, we're all in our worst phase of life.
Yeah.
But, I think I've always felt a little like disconnect. Not always. I felt fine with my culture and my heritage. I didn't realize that I was any different than any other like Mexican kid or anything until somebody pointed it out to me. Some girl that I went to middle school with was like, you should probably just tell people you're white since you don't speak Spanish. Yes.
Excuse you.
And I just like any like pride that I felt, or like any security that I felt in my identity, like in that moment was like stripped away. And I feel like it's taken me a long time to get back to a place where I felt like a proud Mexican woman.
Oh my God, it only literally takes one person.
That's the thing.
It just takes one person to like knock you down.
And that girl, she probably like never thinks that comment again, because to her, like, we were in middle school, she probably thinks like, oh, I was dumb, I didn't know what I was talking about.
Right, yeah.
But like, that comment has stuck with me for like my entire life.
Oh my God.
And so I always just, sometimes I feel like I try to like prove to people that I'm Mexican or that I'm Latinx, and I don't need to do that for anybody. I don't need to perform my Latinxness or my Mexicanness for anybody, which is something that, honestly, that not knowing Spanish has taught me. I know in not knowing Spanish, I've learned to like really claim my like Mexicanness and not have to feel like I need to perform it for people. Because honestly, like, it's nobody's business.
Right.
Like, how I perform my heritage, my culture, my heritage Latinxness. I don't know what the word is that I'm trying to find, but yeah. So I have felt a little disconnected, but I think I'm in a place now where, like I said, it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter what people think of me from the outside looking in, because I know on the inside what I am, and I know, like, just by being comfortable in my brown body, that I am a Mexican woman.
Hell yeah.
And I take up that space, and I represent my culture in the ways that I can.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I agree with you. I am very tired of having to explain myself and having to prove my Latina-ness, right? You know, I'm sure, like, you know, you can tell by the color of my skin that I am Latina, and, you know, and if you ask, oh, so if you start talking to me in Spanish, and then I reply to you in English, and you come at me with, well, why aren't you talking in Spanish? Well, because I don't want to talk in Spanish right now. I feel comfortable talking in English. If I feel comfortable talking in Spanish, I'll do that. But that me talking in Spanish does not need to prove that I am Mexican, that I am Latina. Like, I embody my culture. I am so proud of who I am. And like you said, we are brown women, and we are proud of it. Don't, like, my language should have nothing to do
with that.
And like, it happened one time in college. I took
recent.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess.
Enough. Recent enough.
It's recent, Amanda. Give us it.
Right. Yes. It was very, very recent. So I took advanced Spanish because I didn't want to take 2 levels of Spanish, because that would just give me extra credits, and I didn't want to do that. So a girl in my class, she asked why I wasn't as fluent, because I could, you know, she could tell by my test scores that I was getting like 100 or whatever. And she was like, oh, so you really know Spanish? I'm like,
yeah.
Yes, I do know Spanish. And like, I had to explain to her like why English was always my first language. And that really came from like my mom, because when my mom moved here to the States in the 70s, my grandmother, you know, she worked in a factory, and she had to leave my mom and her siblings at a daycare center. And in that area where they were living, there was like not one single Spanish. They were like the only Spanish family on that block.
Got it.
And Spanish speaking family, I should say. And they, you know, my mom got teased too for not knowing English. And because of that, she didn't want that to happen to me when she had me and she was raising me. She didn't want me to experience that. And I thank her for that. It's just like, you know, it sucks. Like, you can't always win, right? Because instead I got like teased for not knowing Spanish. And like, I remember family members like or not that I remember, she would tell me, like, you know, other family members would ask her, like, well, why don't you talk to her in Spanish, you know? And my mom was like, I just don't want her to be struggling when she goes to school. I don't want her to be in, like, in these ESL classes like I was. Like, I was missing out on all of my other classes, my core curriculum, because I had to go to ESL classes to learn, like, to learn English, and, like, I was getting pulled out of my classes. I don't want that to happen to Amanda, because that will bring her back. So I'm sure they must have, like, judged my mom, like, oh, well, you're not, you know, showing her, you know, who she really is, and, you know, she needs to know Spanish. My mom was looking out for me and was looking out for my best interest, so because of her trauma. So that's why it annoys me. I have to tell everybody this whole big story. You see, here we are again of why English is my first language, but my mom can tell you, like, I speak it more. It's a little bit better. Accent is kind of gone, but I still get shy. So yeah.
I think I've stopped explaining to people why I do not speak Spanish. And I'm like, you know, it didn't happen for me. I'm sorry if that upsets you, but because I think people, like, they always want a reason. Like, why? Yeah. Why don't you speak Spanish?
Because, like, I don't.
Like,
leave it alone.
Yeah, it just didn't happen. And I don't know. I wish I spoke Spanish. It's not my job or any other Hispanic or Latinx person's job to know Spanish.
Yeah.
Like, if that makes you feel more connected to your culture, then by all means, learn it, speak it, live in it. There's nothing wrong with that, but do not judge other people who, I don't want to say, like, maybe didn't have the same opportunities, but just whose families, for whatever reason, felt that it was not necessary to teach them.
Right.
Like, we all come from, like, different backgrounds and, like, different stories, and there are reasons why, like, your family wanted you to know Spanish, and then there are reasons why I ended up not knowing Spanish. I'm trying, though. Like, work with me.
Yeah. That's a good point. So I've said that I know how to read it, I know how to write it, I can speak it enough, but that's something definitely that I feel like if I learned more, or if I were more fluent, I would have a bigger connection to my heritage and my culture. Because, like, at this point in time, and this is something that I've been struggling with for, like, a while now, it's just like I always feel too American to be Dominican, and then too Dominican to be American. And that's, like, the constant struggle of what I feel all the time. Like, I'm just like, it's
a push and pull.
Yeah. Like, people would say, like, oh yeah, like, you're Dominican. It's just like, yes, I am Dominican, but I don't feel like I am Dominican.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I spoke Spanish more, it would definitely bring me closer to that culture and all that stuff. Because I do love it. Like, when we go visit there, like, we're always going to my dad's farm, and, like, you feel like it's such a different, like, atmosphere there, and it's such a beautiful country too. Like, I love going there, even though I say, like, I don't really like going there. But I definitely feel that disconnect. Like, and every time I meet another Dominican person who knows how to speak Spanish, who had this specific upbringing or whatever, I'm always just like, oh, so that was your experience and you feel very Dominican. I do not feel that at all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, and Selena.
I was like, you gotta be more Mexican, and the Mexican, you gotta be more Americans. But both at the same time.
And it's exhausting.
It really is exhausting. Like, you do have to.
But again, I think it comes back to, like, people, like, society, people in our community, whoever, like, making us feel like we have to perform our Latinxness. Yeah. There's a word. I don't know what it is that I can't think of.
I know, that's why I keep on saying Latino-ness, Latina-ness.
Like, it's a word for that. Yeah. But, I don't know. I think as I've gotten older, I have, in my life in general, stop letting people make me feel bad about the things that I could not control. It was beyond my control whether I learned Spanish or not.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't be at 5 years old like, Mom, teach me Spanish now. Like,
right.
That was not happening.
Because you weren't thinking about it.
Yeah, no. I was existing. I was a child. I was like, is someone giving me a popsicle? Am I going to be able to watch cartoons? Like, that's what I was worried about.
Yeah.
And I think it really just comes with, like, getting older that you're just like, you know what? I don't care. I think I always care a little bit, but you can't feel bad for the things that were beyond your control. You can't feel bad for the way that you choose to live in your brown skin.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. I mean, with all that being said, I know for me personally, like, I'm taking steps to, like, be more fluent.
Yeah.
Not even for people, but for myself. Like, I would like to, like, as my grandparents are getting older, I realize they're speaking more and more in Spanish. And so I never want to lose, like, being able to communicate with them.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And for me, like, that... I spend a lot of time translating Spanish songs because first of all, I want to know what's being said. I want in on the gossip too, guys. So I spend a lot of time like translating Spanish songs into English. And also like I like to sing songs in Spanish. And it's always very funny because like if I'll be with somebody like kind of new to me and a Spanish song will come on that I know, like I can sing it in Spanish and they're like, oh, so you do know I'm like, no, I know that song. I know that song. I can sing that
Singing
song.
Singing and talking, two completely different things.
Because then somebody will, I think Thomas, maybe one time I was listening to something because I'll clean to like cumbias and stuff. And he was like, what is the song about? And I'll tell him, and he's like, so you do understand. I'm like, bro, I've heard this song 150 times.
For me to understand.
Yeah.
But it's watching, like, Spanish TV, like telenovelas, watching Spanish movies, watching the news, things where, like, I'm hearing it and constantly, like...
thinking of what they're saying.
Yes. Because, like, that's what my mom has been, like, you know, if you do this, like, it'll come. And I hear people all the time who, like, learned English watching. Like,
my dad and my mom, that's how they learned, watching TV.
That's how my mother, my grandmother was very strict with them when they came here, too. Like, my grandmother was like, you're only allowed to watch American TV. And my mom didn't like that. She's like, but I want to watch Spanish TV. And she's like, no. You have to learn English. You're going to watch American TV. And that's all they watch was American TV. And I think maybe that's why, like, I'm so Americanized. I don't want to say so Americanized. I don't know. It's not a bad thing, but
it's hard.
Like,
it's hard.
It's hard to navigate.
But because like my mom like grew up like knowing like bands like the Monkees, the Beatles, you know, and she taught me a lot about that culture because that's what she grew up with. Because my grandmother was trying to help them, like help, so that way they didn't get stuck. Just not being able to communicate and like grow in life, you know what I mean? So yes, I think that's why I am like just so like a little, it's hard to say, like I don't want to say I'm so Americanized, but like that's why that happens. But going back to the TV thing, my grandmother on my dad's side, she practically like took care of me in my younger years. And she doesn't know English. I mean, I think she understands it. But she spoke to me in Spanish all the time. And there was Spanish TV. Univision was always on.
Oh my God,
Univision, Telemundo, like Galvisión, like it was always on. And that's how I know Spanish, because I was just watching novelas all the time.
Yeah.
I was watching Primer Impacto all the time. Gordo y la Flaca all the time.
I love that.
Yeah. So, like, I was watching that all the time. And then, you know, my mom was into novelas, you know, too. So, like, that's how I, you know, got a hold of, like, my Spanish-speaking roots. But, guys, it's challenging. Because you're trying to prove yourself that I am Latino or I'm Latina, but I'm also American. It's hard. It's hard.
I honestly think that's how I ended up with like the level of like at least minimal fluency that I have. Because with my grandma Sylvia, like always playing Spanish music in her house or like watching something in Spanish, and like she watched American shows, but like she's also like very into telenovelas. And so when I was growing up and I would be with her, that's what would be on, and. You know, I gotta say, sometimes I do miss it, and sometimes I wish I would have kept up with it. But again, like you said, we were kids, like we weren't thinking of that.
Yeah.
And honestly, like this did not become such a big, in middle school is when I just like all of that happened. But it became a bigger issue for me later in life when I was like, damn, people keep wanting me to speak Spanish, and I have to be like, I don't. I'm sorry.
Right.
But again, same thing I've been repeating this entire episode. Like, I do not have to perform my Mexicanness for anybody.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know.
And you should also, like what you said, like, oh, sorry. You said, I don't speak Spanish. I'm sorry. Like, even, like, letting go of the I'm sorry at the end of that sentence is very hard, too. Like, that's still apologizing to, for not, speaking it. But tired of explaining. I'm tired of apologizing. I love me. I love what I am. I love, like, who raised me and the culture. The culture raised me too. So, yeah.
Yep.
What about you? Are you doing anything? Do you want to be more fluent in Spanish?
Yeah, I'm trying. I try to talk to my mom a little bit more in Spanish. My dad is always pushing me to speak Spanish. He always gets mad. He's like, you guys never talk Spanish. You have to learn how to do it so that you can get paid more. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, I'm trying. But recently I finished the show called Feria on Netflix. It's a set in Spain. So they speak a very different Spanish than we do.
Yeah.
So it's been hard to understand their dialect.
Yeah.
But I'm getting there. I'm getting back into like because I haven't watched Spanish TV in such a long time. So
going back to that, if there's anybody, there are people out there watching us. Sorry, I said if there's anyone.
If there's anyone out there.
Is anybody out there?
But if you guys can leave leave in our comments novelas that you guys are watching, because I need I really do need a good novela to watch.
Yeah.
From beginning to I think just whatever's recent, or if there's anything that you're watching right now that's really good, please leave it in the comments below. Because
as long as we can find it on a streaming site,
yes,
we're good.
Please.
We pretty much have all of them at this
right,
point.
or attach it with the streaming site so that way I know where to find it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's hard, and I always have to be careful because I'm at least like this knowledgeable about Spanish where I notice the different dialects. Like Spain Spanish is very different.
Oh yeah,
from
and that's all they teach in school.
They
do. That's all they teach in school.
That's what they teach in school. Because I remember one time we were in high school. We were learning like foods. And my teacher goes, beef deck. And I'm like, what the heck is a beef deck? She's saying. And I was like, yeah. And she's making us like repeat after her, yo quiero arroz y un bistec. And I'm like, what the heck is she saying? And I'm like, do you mean bistec?
That's how I say it too.
But wait, that's how they say it in Spain. Bistec.
You say it that way or the other way?
That bistec.
Oh, okay.
I say bistec.
Yeah.
Because that's how I was taught. I'm like, what is this woman saying?
I've never heard the other way. That's funny.
Yeah, and then it said it in the book too, on the textbook. It said beefsteak.
With an F? And
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was spelled the same because I know like they changed their C's to sound like or their Z's or something because they say shoes like zapatos.
Zapatos. Yeah. And then I found out the reason why we say bistec is because we're trying to say beefsteak.
So we're Spanglish all the way around.
What? My mind was blown. I was like, we're trying to say beefsteak and with a Spanish English accent. So beefsteak. I couldn't. I was done.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's so funny.
Okay, so I guess maybe to round us out a little bit, we talked about how we can feel disconnected from our culture since we don't speak Spanish. And I will say, even if I don't feel this way 100% today, I hope to get there one day. Not knowing Spanish does not make us disconnected from our culture. And if you do not know Spanish, that's okay. You know what? We could start a group and learn it together.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's the blind leading the blind. It will be great. But in what ways, like, do you feel connected to your culture, or do you embrace your culture, celebrate it?
Yeah. Great question. Just recently, my cousin had her birthday party for her and her husband, and they had a Típico band there. That's like one of the best ways that I celebrate and embrace my culture. I love dancing to típico. I love being involved in that. Like, it's so fun. It's like it's one of the only ways that I feel connected to where I'm from. Is dancing. I love dancing. Specifically to that music. And they try to have it at every family party. So every time that they do have a típico band, I'm always just like, yes, I will be going to that. Because even though if I don't understand what they're saying, I know how to participate and be involved. So
And you had a band at your wedding.
And I had a band at my wedding.
So it was great. Yeah,
it was a great time. It's such a fun time. I love it. And then when we go visit to DR, my dad's family has like a farm there, the campo and everything. So we go there, and it's like I was saying before, like the atmosphere is so different. So it's just like that's another way I feel connected to my culture. Just like trying to visit. I know we're going in July. So that's really fun. So I am excited. I know I say I hate it, but like
that's the resort side, so that's completely different.
I don't go to the resorts when I go.
That's what I'm saying though. Like where we're going is the resort side, completely different from the campo life. So so
very different.
You get to that's real Dominican. Yeah,
very different.
But you said how we find ways to connect culture. I know this is gonna sound really tacky, but. Cinco de Mayo. We actually celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, really?
My family, because it's the Battle of Puebla.
What is that for?
Battle of Puebla. That's when the French tried to invade Puebla.
Then you guys won?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my family's from Puebla.
Oh, that makes a whole bunch of sense.
So we actually celebrate it. Yeah. So we like to go and my mom was really big on making me understand that Cinco de Mayo is completely different from Mexican Independence Day, which is September 16th. So, like, she goes, so whenever anyone asks you, like, oh, is Cinco de Mayo Independence Day, you say no. You have to know the difference.
I feel like that is still a very common misconception.
Yeah, it is a very common misconception.
I'm like, what?
I thought it was just a day to party.
No. See, we're like almost 30 years old, and I feel like people still don't. Even with the internet is out there, people. You can use it. It's free for the most part. They're different days. They're two different things.
And my mom was like, "That's great. You want to celebrate Cinco de Mayo, Amanda? That is fine, but you better know why you're celebrating it." And so that's why, she was really big on that with me. And she goes, if anybody asks you, this is what you say. I go, okay, mommy. Yeah. Because she goes, how are you gonna be walking around talking about Cinco de Mayo and you don't know what you're celebrating?
I mean, that was me like 29 years in my life.
So, that's one way. And then I love I love paintings of the Aztec gods.
Oh.
And I think they're so beautiful. So I have one in the house right now that I have to put up after painting. We haven't done that yet, so I'm gonna put that up. And then my Frida Kahlo paintings that I'm so excited to put up. So like that's my way of just like showing and embracing my culture, and that's how I keep it. I connect with it. So yeah.
What about you?
Me. I was like, who are we talking to? Honestly, I think. I don't know if it's in my old age or
Guys, you're 29. We're not that old.
I'm 28 years old.
Okay. Right. Enjoy it while it lasts.
I just feel like existing and loving my brown body, because I exist, I am connected to my culture, connected to my ancestors. I am connected to all of it. And I think that's the approach that I have been trying to take for the last couple of years, because as I said, I've really been working on not feeling bad about not knowing Spanish. I do other things. I like to study Mexican history because you don't learn about it in school.
Yeah,
and
they don't teach you anything.
When you learn about it in Texas, you really just learn that Mexicans were bad people who were trying to keep Texans from their land. So I think at some point I realized, I was like, wait a minute, I'm Mexican, what is happening here? Something's not right. This cannot be the whole story. So I really like to learn Mexican history. And also I really just try to consume like content by Latinx creatives and to hear other people's experiences, no matter where they're from, like on the, it's not a line, I don't know,
spectrum.
No, yeah, there we go, Latinx spectrum. There we go. That's what I was looking for. And with that, though, I have some books to recommend because it is March. It's Women's History Month. So, of course, we want to celebrate women. And so I have some books to share with everybody that are by Latinx women. You can find this list on our new website that'll be available this weekend. Yay. Thank you, Liana.
Oh, thank you so much.
And you'll be able to find, we'll do a post on our Instagram for you also. But a couple of these I've read, and some of these are new authors that I've recently found. I think you two have read some of these as well. So
yeah, I haven't read in so long. I need to read, like,
yeah.
So maybe this list is gonna get me back into it because I need to like get back into it.
I'm not gonna lie. If we grow pretty large, I don't know why I can never find the word for this. If we get a decent sized audience, I would like to. I was gonna say listenership again. Somebody very kindly pointed out that was not the word to me last week, but I would like to start a book club. I love book clubs. I love discussing the books that I am reading with people. But anyways, here's the list, you guys. So the first one is The Soul of a Woman by Isabel Allende. I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter by Erica L. Sanchez. Amanda and I have both read this book. Oh, it's so good. So good. Once I Was You, A Memoir of Love and Hate in a Torn America by Maria Hinojosa, who also runs the Latino USA podcast. Very good in journalism, like investigative podcast. Mm-hmm. The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. Chula by Amanda Alcantara. We Are Owed by Ariana Brown. Plantains and Are Becoming by Melania Luisa Marta. And this book that I'm currently reading by Four Brown Girls with Sharp Edges and Tender Hearts by Fresca Dorcas Mojica Rodriguez. Again, You'll be able to find it on our website, on our Instagram, and let us know. First of all, give us recommendations
for telenovelas, because I need some.
Yes, let us know if you've read any of these books, and add other books in the comments of women that we might not have mentioned. Obviously, this list is not extensive. I don't have 20 hours to give you guys book recommendations, but we love sharing, and we love to learn more about what our culture has to offer. It's beautiful. It's vibrant. We love to live in it and be in it. And this whole podcast is us wanting to share that with everybody.
Yeah.
So, and lastly, you guys, how are y'all glowing this week? What is making y'all glow?
Wow, I said it and I didn't have anything lined up.
We would have been fine.
You know what is making me glow this week? Watching Selena in the theater. I was just like on a really, that movie came out in 97, so I was like 4. I seriously doubt my parents took me to go see it in a theater, so seeing it on a theater screen for me was just everything. I loved it. I had the woman next to me was in tears, and I think maybe if I hadn't seen the movie 400 or 500 times, I probably also would have been. I did cry a little bit in the beginning because I knew where it was going, obviously. But that is what is making me glow this week. I love that movie. Mm-hmm. I love listening to her music. Mm-hmm. The queen herself did not speak Spanish very well, so you know what? Leave me alone.
Yeah, people gave her a lot of stuff too about not knowing it. I'm sure everybody has seen the episode where she was on Cristina.
I love that show.
And she was discussing her clothing line, and they had asked her, well, what sizes does your line carry? And she goes 14, and the whole entire audience laughed, and she's there why are you guys laughing at me? And they were and then that's when she realized, oh wait, I said it wrong. She goes, no, I mean 14. And she goes, but you understand what I'm saying, but you get what I'm saying. So don't laugh. You see, we're not supposed to do that. See, even a famous superstar, she got teased.
I'm taking the Selena approach from now on. You understand what I'm saying, don't you? So leave me alone.
Yeah. What's making me glow? Movies, yeah. West Side Story, the remake by Steven Spielberg. It's out on. It's excellent. It's on Disney Plus and HBO Max. If you have not seen it, the original is fantastic too, but Steven Spielberg did a wonderful job in remaking it. So if you have not seen that, go see it. And I love that you see different shades of brown in that movie.
Let's hope that Ariana DeBose wins the Oscar. Yes. I would love to see her win an Oscar. Oh my God, she is so great in that movie. Oh my God. Yeah. Wow. She does Rita Moreno justice.
Yeah.
That's good. I haven't seen it. It's on Disney Plus?
I think it's free on HBO Max.
HBO Max is free, yeah.
I will be watching that. My glow this week is I actually found the time to play Sims this week.
Good for you.
I hadn't played Sims for like 2 months at this point. I was just like, if I don't play Sims today, I'm really gonna pull my hair out because I just needed something to just like do and like not even think about. So I played Sims for like 5 hours the other day.
Do you like the new pack? I hear it's kind of buggy.
I haven't had any problems with it. Okay. I mostly like it for the world. The world is really pretty.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. But there's not much to do there.
I have not bought it yet. You know, I didn't. So I'm on Reddit.
Yeah.
And I follow like a Sims 4 subreddit. People in that subreddit are so angry all the time. I honestly didn't realize, like, I don't know, I just buy the content and play it and I don't think about it. But when I was like reading some of these threads, like EA kind of does like put out half finished game packs and then they're like, don't worry, we'll patch it later. It's like, bro, I'm spending my money. Give me a fully finished game pack. Where are the cars at?
Right.
Like, why is school not more interactive? I want to go to class with that sim. So many more things we could be doing.
Yeah. But
also, I hear a rumor that Sims 5 is supposed to have like online gameplay. And if that does, I fear you and I will never leave our computers.
I know. Sorry.
Can't hang on, Amanda. We're playing Sims. Get on.
Can't record. We're busy.
Be sure to share with us what's making you glow this week. Let us know what you've got going on. We really want to build a community here, you guys. We want to hear from y'all.
Yeah. In Spanish, test us.
Yeah.
Test us. Send us an email.
Nicely, please. Nicely. Be kind.
Yes.
And remember, you can catch us every Wednesday wherever you listen to your podcasts.
And then you can find us on Instagram at Glowing Up Latina. And then you can leave us feedback, ask us questions like we said, share how you're glowing this week. And you can send that to us via email at glowinguplatina@gmail.com. We can't wait to hear from you guys.
Oh, and be sure to visit our brand new website this weekend.
Oh, that's right.
That Liana created for us. You love it. It's gorgeous. It's obviously glowinguplatina.com.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Have to check.
It'll be in the show notes. Also, in the show notes, you can find a link to our Instagram. You can find a link to our Spotify podcast. I'm definitely putting a Selena song on the playlist this week. You can also find the link to the Apple Music playlist. Just go, you guys. Share
everything.
And thank you so much. We got 100 views on a YouTube video this weekend. We were ecstatic.
Yeah, really exciting.
Thanks to you guys.
Yes, and a very nice page shared us as 12 Latinx or Latina podcasts to listen to for Women's History Month. Yeah. That was so appreciated.
I want to find them. I think they're called Boderistas.
It's Boderistas. Yes, that's who they are.
Yeah.
So go give them a follow and tell them that you love us. So maybe they'll feature us more. But thank you, and we can't wait to see you again next week.
Keep glowing, mija.
Bye.